Oh, you're muted.
And we're live.
We're back.
Welcome to the Underdog journey, where I'm not muted, but David might think I am because I'm not talking to him.
Okay.
Can you hear
I
me
don't know
now?
what happened there. It went silent, and because you're sharing the screen, I can't see you. So
Oh,
I couldn't see you do your normal thing until it came up on the
okay.
screen, but that's like 20 seconds delayed.
Uh,
Always professional all the time.
yeah, always true professionals. We got that down. We're pretty good at that.
Yeah,
So
pretty well. Hmm.
it has been a busy week. A lot of stuff. Literally every time we talk, more and more happens. Like in global economics, political. We try to stay out of politics, but so much is happening in the world. It's getting really hard.
Yes.
Oh, and there you go. Actually,
I was like, how do I want to respond here? Do I stick with we stay
no
away from
politics.
politics,
We stay out of.
or do I just throw caution to the wind and let it? So we're going to stick to our rule on politics, and we're going to steer clear of it. The only thing we ever tell you guys is, unless your business is politics, don't let your business be in politics, but know that your business is affected by politics. Yes.
Exactly. So we are getting some random unusual comments from our random unusual audience. Mr. Matthew Harmon, thank you for the commentary. But like you said, unless your business is politics, keep your business out of politics because it's a lose-lose. You can't win there. So
Yeah. You're going to alienate. Okay, here's the rub on that. You're going to alienate about 50%. Whoever is opposed to whatever it is you're trying to go, whatever's on the other side, or has the other letter on the name, is they're automatically not going to like what you're doing.
Well, yeah.
And then there's a portion of the other half that are going to go, wait a minute, you shouldn't have an opinion on this, even if you do agree with me.
Right.
So over 50% of your customer base, which is everybody, we've talked about avatars and such, but 50% of your potential customers, over 50%, are going, no.
Yeah,
I don't
was
like
just going to say the
that,
same
so
thing.
just don't do it.
At least 70% of your audience, you're going to alienate because, again, half of them aren't going to agree with you based on the letter next to your name, next to your opinion, rather. And at least 20% of your audience is going to be alienated because they are on one side of the spectrum or the other to the extreme, or they will just think that you don't need to be in politics and you need to keep your nose out of it. And even if they agree with you, you're right.
And it's
best to lose-lose.
Best to keep your personal opinions as your personal opinions.
Absolutely.
And I keep trying to explain this, and there's a person who lives in my house here with me. I keep trying to explain to my wife that a business's sole purpose is to continue being a business. That's its only purpose. That's all it can do. So if you allow the business to control your life and work you 24/7, it will do it. It doesn't care.
Oh, yeah.
It's the business. Its whole purpose is to continue to grow.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to put limits on it of how much you're willing to do.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes you load it up on a startup, which we've talked about. Nobody will care about your business the way that you do, but there becomes a point where the business is an entity of itself, and you will be able to step back, and you don't have to massage it and keep it going all the time. So remember, it will overwhelm you. I had a very witty comment, but it could have been taken political, so I decided to walk that back in my head there. And more importantly, we haven't started off right. That's why we're on the wrong foot.
We're on the wrong foot because we didn't talk about the main subject of this podcast, which is, what are you drinking, David?
What are we drinking today? Okay, now I went to my beer store, and I got to give a huge shout out.
Yeah.
And I'll be right back. You're going to see the thing here because I literally just dropped the card here that I show every week. Oh, there we go. And I'm back. Branching Out Bottle Shop.
Yeah.
Branching Out Bottle Shops.
Yeah.
Right here in Central New York. You're in Central Ohio. I'm in Central New York. And it's in Camillus. I don't know. It's freaking Central New York. It's Branching Out Bottle Shop. And you can go in there, and all of their beers, you get 6-packs or 4-packs, or I don't think they get more than 6 actually, of them, but right next to them, singles. So if you are like, hey, I'd like to try this. Well, you can go get a 6-pack of your normal stuff that you know you like and grab a few of these just little singles sitting around. So tonight, I bought myself a 6-pack because I know I love the style of beer. I went with the Von Trapp Dunkel at the recommendation of the folks reaching out. So I'm going to start with a Dunkel tonight. Actually, I might not start with that. I might finish with that later. But the Von Trapp Dunkel.
Love it.
So I got a 6-pack of those.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a good one. Now, it's still Oktoberfest time, so I got me a couple Oktoberfest still.
Yeah, what do you have?
This is called the Devil's Backbone.
Oh.
And I've had it before. It
sounds pretty mellow.
I don't like it. Yeah, I don't like it as much as a Spaten. With Matt Hamlin there saying he's got the Bush Latte again this week. Laura Lyons Black says hello. Okay, let's see. We got to. I do not plan on drinking all these tonight. I got a bunch of them.
No, this is what he's going to drink on the show. He's going to be halfway through. It'll just be the two of us.
No, so we got a Myers Creek Brewing Company here as well. Another Oktoberfest. Now this is actually a little low for an Oktoberfest. It comes in about 5.5. Usually the mid to upper 6s. Let's see what this other one has on it. Oh, this one's low, a little bit low too. It's 5.9. So that's those. Do I have another Oktoberfest? No, I don't. But I had a hankering when I was in there.
A hankering?
A hankering.
What are you hankering for?
For a Hefeweizen. Now,
okay.
I know that nobody's going to come close to my Hofbrauhaus Columbus. Hats off to you.
Jason, the brewer at Hofbrau would be very disappointed to hear that you're cheating on his beer.
Lord. His Hefeweizen beer. If he comes to you, he's got a liter or a half liter of Hefeweizen, order, because that means he's rocking proud of that beer, and it is good. And it is, I mean, Hefeweizen beer is really good, and it's not this. I'm not going to say a beer is good for you, but as much as
as far as beers go, it's healthy.
From the way that it works, it will do great things for you. But I got a Springdale Beer Company here.
Okay.
And it's called Das Weizen.
Das
Weizen. I love it.
Angry.
You sound like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Das Weizen.
Get to the chopper. On that, I got another little thing I want to show you too.
Okay.
We'll go to that. It's my segment of business news this week.
Yeah.
But it has nothing to do with news and a little bit to do with business.
Okay.
Well, wait, there's more beer to get to. So
more.
And then we got Polliner from Munich.
No.
Hefeweizen.
Polliner's great. I could drink that all day.
Yeah, I mean, Polliner, you know what you're getting. It's good. It's not fresh brewed Hofbrau, but you know it's a good beer. So I got my Polliner Hefeweizen, and I went with something I've never seen before, but you have, and you actually said it was a good beer. So I've got high hopes for it. I'm debating on whether I'm going to start with this one tonight.
Okay.
Is Kona Brewing Company from Hawaii, Longboard Lager.
Yeah, Kona's a great brewery.
So on here you can't see it.
Not exactly local.
Little imprint of the outprint. No, it's sticking out of the Hawaiian Islands there.
Yeah.
And it says Liquid Aloha. So I'm going to Liquid Aloha as soon as I find my Liquid Aloha opener. There it is.
Yeah, it's not exactly a local beer, but it's pretty good.
No, they don't necessarily do. They do some imports. They do some really cool, clearly some really cool places over there. And I'm walking my Craft House 5. Now this I got to tell you.
Yeah.
Above my boot, above my little liter stein. If I'm not looking to drink, my Hofbrau beer from my standard liters.
Okay.
These glasses that are shaped like a little 12-ounce can. These are just the bee's knees. I love these things.
Cute.
If anybody's out there and has these, send them to me. I'll take them.
There you go.
So there we go. What are you drinking on tonight?
All right. Well, I got a little variety. So I'm out of full 6-packs. I got some bits and pieces left from other things. So I'm actually starting with Guinness Porter. So this is not the normal stout. This is actually their porter.
Yeah.
This is part of a limited batch they did a little while ago, but still Guinness, still delicious. I'll drink that all day long. I also have Great Lakes Oktoberfest because yes, it is still Oktoberfest season. Thank goodness.
I do like Great Lakes Oktoberfest. It is good.
and a few Polliner Oktoberfest as well. So again, Polliner, drink this all day. This is great stuff.
I mean, Polliner, man, you can't go wrong with it. It's such a great brewery, such a good beer.
Yeah.
Just know that if you're going to try to compare it, and I'm always a fan of apples to apples, you cannot compare it to something that you're getting at a local brew pub that's being brewed on site, because it's not going to be the same. So, as I've talked to you guys about before with my buddies down there at Branching Out, the place is guarded by a little puppy dog named Barley.
Great name for a dog. Great name for a dog.
I gotta tell you, and a dog that's at a beer store named Barley, you gotta love it. So when you come, you can buy a sticker of Barley.
Barley. Does he say that when you're?
I got my Barley sticker. I'm thinking the Barley sticker. I don't know if I can raise my MacBook, but I've got a couple ESP stickers on for my guitars I have behind me on back here. But I think Barley's quality enough to go on the back of my MacBook.
That's saying something. There you go. That's a bold statement.
But wait, there's even more.
More.
If you order now with your credit card, just send me the numbers. We have competition now. Everybody knows that West makes dog treats, the Underdog Plus, artisanal dog treats. Now, dogs go nuts over these things, absolutely nuts.
Go to underdog.com to find out full details.
While I was there, I discovered they also have Lunkenheimer dog treats. So these are made from the same spent brewer's grains. They don't have the appeal, and now my dog likes them. They don't have quite the aroma that the Underdogs do, but the dog, I'll tell you, my dog stood on her hind legs begging for like 30 seconds trying to get them. So I think they made her flash back. They don't really have quite as much aroma to them as our normal artisanal dog treats. But
so a lot of breweries are starting to do that, where they use their spent brewer's grains to make treats like that. However, they're not as good as Underdog dog treats, Underdog bones.
That's right.
For a number of reasons, but
I don't know if you can see that.
That's it. I see you.
That is bubbly. You would almost say that. I mean, that almost is on Pilsner level there.
What is that, their lager?
Yeah, this is that Kona lager.
Yeah. What do you think?
Oh, I gotta be careful with that. I gotta find out what the percentage on this thing is. I mean, because it's only Bud Light drinkers falling over in his chair right now. 4.6%.
Yeah,
so it doesn't sound like a lot. I could sit down and drink 3 liters of this.
Yeah.
In some relatively short order.
Oh yeah. You know, when you have grown-up beer and then you go back to the Bud Light levels of alcohol, it's pretty easy to forget how much you normally would drink. So
yeah.
So David, what's happening in the world of business today? What's going on?
What's happening in the world of business is absolutely nothing that I want to talk about, because I got in the mail a catalog of 1980s.
We're talking about catalogs. 1980s teas.
80steas.com.
Okay.
Now, I don't know how this ended up here with me, but whatever algorithm that it tripped that got me this catalog, I am thankful. Because, I mean, you get a free poster inside.
Yeah.
Look at that centerfold.
That's pretty awesome.
So I'm telling you, I mean, it is awesome. So the reason it got kicked over to me actually came while I wasn't here, and I was in Columbus, and the wife was flipping through it, and she came upon this shirt. Now, I'm gonna show you the one she didn't show me first, because it's got inconceivable. Inconceivable. Then it has it broken down. Number 1, not capable of being imagined or grasped mentally. Number 2, not what you think that it means. So for the people who get that reference, you're my peeps. The people who didn't, You need to change your life.
That's awesome.
That's from The Princess Bride, just in case anybody get that. Now, the one that cued her to send this to me is this lovely gem of a t-shirt, to which I will be buying very shortly. Wolfman's Got Nards.
That's a good one.
Got Nards from the Monster Squad. I bought that I think last year on my Voodoo, and I just love it. So anyway, this is definitely a company I say I know nothing else about them except they were good enough to send me this catalog, and I plan on definitely reaching out to them and ordering some stuff. And Wes knows me. I'm not above actually calling these folks and seeing if we can get them on the show to talk about their products. So,
well, look, do it. I'd love to talk to them. That sounds awesome.
Absolutely. Something like that, it definitely earns something to talk about, because it's a there's literally I could spend our whole time going through this catalog and talking about these shirts, and everybody's going to find something. Well, everybody in our age category is going to go, oh, I've got to have that. Now, they're expensive for t-shirts, but
yeah,
I'll spend that money.
People love nostalgia. People love nostalgia. We've talked about that before.
We talked about how Pizza Hut could come in and actually out pizza themselves, because let's be honest, DiGiorno out pizzas the Hut right now. If they did a flashback retro because of nostalgia.
Look, if Facebook bought MySpace and brought back MySpace the way it used to be, where you could customize your page and do all the things,
yes,
it would explode. Anybody who bought MySpace and took it back to what it was, and then just did a hardcore marketing push on this thing, it would explode.
Huge marketing, and look at it this way.
Because of nostalgia.
Subscription-based HTML access.
Maybe.
So you pay, it doesn't have to be a lot, $5 a month. Could be at $2.50 a month. It doesn't matter. Some meal, because it's free out there, but you can have a completely safe one here through them, vetted. All you do is click it, paste it, just like you used to do in MySpace, and there you have it. I mean, it's just great. Now, not to do a quick flashback here, but Shannon Black, this is a message, said you need this to drink out of, and Shannon has a new logo and some new products on the Real Life Outdoors with Shannon Black. Excuse me, and we're big fans of his channel. We're proud supporters of his channel, and anything we can do to help promote him, we definitely want to do. So I don't know. Hey, Shannon, can you drop that in our comments on this? And I don't know, but maybe we will be able to get, maybe we can get it up on the screen, okay?
Yeah, definitely. Everybody go check out Real Life Outdoors Shannon Black on YouTube. And it's hunting and fishing, but it's actually, if you're not into hunting and fishing, it's still really entertaining.
Even if you're not into business, if you're not into business, it's literally the hunting and fishing channel of us.
There you go. I'll take it. That's fair.
And not as good at fishing as we are.
All right, I'll take that. So I got a couple interesting stories here. So what do we got here? First thing, this is actually from Gizmodo, and hopefully this doesn't get us kicked off of get us kicked off Facebook. But we got to talk.
Never happened before.
We got to talk about it. On Gizmodo, there's a story. Facebook paid. This is the headline, not me. Just so you know. Thanks, Mark. Facebook paid the FTC billions to personally protect Zuckerberg, lawsuit claims. So apparently, a hulking lawsuit made public this week accuses Facebook's board of agreeing to overpay the FTC billions of dollars in exchange for not personally suing CEO Mark Zuckerberg over a certain data leak event that I won't name because the last time it happened, we mysteriously went offline.
Was it that analytics place up in Cambridge?
Well, I think there's a school named after whatever the place was, and they might deal with some sort of data analytics. That's all I can say.
Yes.
But so this is gonna be very interesting to see how that plays out. Because here's the problem. Here's the rub, right? If Facebook did it,
wait. Hold the phone. Scroll down just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just
Hold the.
I'm looking at the wrong screen here. Go back up. I want you to center on this picture, but they need to be able to see.
They do see.
Does anybody notice that Mark Zuckerberg has a name tag on? Do you think where this guy goes, they don't know who he is?
Well, look, maybe he needs the name tag because there's Android Mark and there's actual Mark.
Oh.
There's the sipping water Android, and then there's the actual Mark.
So if the name tag is low on the shirt, that's Android Mark. But if it's up where it's supposed to be, that's human Mark.
Well, maybe Android Mark needs the name tag, and human Mark doesn't need the name tag.
Okay.
I mean, think about it. He does look like he has more sun in this photo than normal. So
I just thought it was funny that Mark Zuckerberg's walking around with a name tag on.
That's hilarious. That is hilarious.
Really.
But here's the rub with this story, though, right? Here's the problem. If Facebook did this, and if the lawsuit can prove it, that's a big problem for bribery and all kinds of a number of different things. Here's the other reason why I don't think this is going to go anywhere. Here's why I don't think this is going to go anywhere.
Or extortion from the other side.
Here's why I don't think this is going to go anywhere. Is because if the lawsuit were to prove this happened, it would also mean the FTC has been taking bribes, and the FTC doesn't want to be won't allow themselves to come to justice for something like that, because there are too many, to stay out of politics, but there are too many high-level politicians involved with the FTC and their goings-on. It's never going to go anywhere, even if it were true. Never going to go anywhere. Am I wrong?
I like you, Facebook.
I like you too, Facebook.
I like you, Mark, and Android Mark.
I love Mark. I love Android Mark. And I think Android Mark does bear a striking resemblance to Commander Data in Star Trek, but that it adds to his charm. It adds to his charm.
I find that fascinating. No comment.
Close enough. Close enough.
Yeah. That was Spock reacting to Data. Can you not think of a conversation that would be more interesting?
Actually, you know what? I would totally like to see that conversation. That'd be a good conversation. You're right.
So
that'd be a fair conversation.
I have restarted Star Trek: The Next Generation, which for any of you guys out there is by far the superior
and we lost the other half
Trek.
Of the kids. Okay.
And I've been watching it every night going to bed now. So we were rewatching the Hunger Games series because we're about that close to getting there now, staying away from politics. But we go to bed last night. I'm like, hey, you want to watch some Star Trek with me? She's like, yeah, sure. And then I turn it on. She's just going, wait a minute, you were serious? It's like,
yes, yeah. Star Trek is awesome. Yeah. Look,
yeah, absolutely.
I'm hoping season 2 of Picard is as good as season 1 started out to be. I hope.
Yes.
We'll see where it goes. But so my second story, I got another piece of really interesting news here. Actually, this is I can see both sides. I'm kind of excited for maybe both of them. I don't know. So this is on LinkedIn News. There's a company that is planning, actually getting funding. They've raised $15 million to bring back the woolly mammoth and repopulate the Arctic tundra.
No. There are 4 or 5 movies that show us why that's a bad idea.
Well, okay, come on. Look, bringing back T-Rexes that are going to chase down Jeff Goldblum are one thing. A woolly mammoth, who are they going to chase down?
Leave Jeff Goldblum. Jeff Goldblum is a national treasure.
And look, I don't want him to be trampled by. Look, I don't want Jeff Goldblum to be trampled by a mammoth. I don't. That's why Jeff Goldblum is watching this.
I know you're watching right now because you email me throughout the shows. But if they invite you to the opening of this exhibit with the new reborn woolly mammoth, don't go.
Look,
don't go.
Jeff Goldblum, stay out of the Arctic tundra. However, I don't think many woolly mammoths will go on killing rampages. I could be wrong.
Look at the eyes on that thing. Look at it.
It's a killer. It's a beast.
It is.
It's blood.
It is looking for a human to murder.
So here's the interesting thing. When I first read this story, I got really excited because look, they raised $15 million from investors already. it's looking really promising that they're actually going to have funding to move forward with this, right? But then my normal cynical side comes out and starts looking at the actual facts. You start looking at things like, oh wait, to actually do this, they're going to use the CRISPR technology to implant remnants of mammoth DNA into Asian elephant DNA, into Asian elephant eggs, and then implant those eggs into a mother Asian elephant. Here's the problem. There aren't enough female Asian elephants in captivity to both maintain their population and perform this experiment, because it's never actually been done that we know of, and perform this experiment to fruition to the point this needs to happen. In addition to the fact that if they were able to do this, it would technically only be half woolly mammoth and half Asian elephant. But to bring back a full woolly mammoth, they think they need multiple generations of this. So not only do they need to have an offspring that's half, then they need to have a female offspring that's half. They then need to take an egg from that female and implant that egg with more remnants of mammoth DNA, and gradually,
ladies and gentlemen, the Birds and Bees as brought to you in part by the Underdog Journey.
Well, but then over time they'll have more and more of a full woolly mammoth.
I guess Lord Voldemort, you're over there trying to create purebloods.
But if Lord Voldemort were a woolly mammoth, I would totally read that book. But so there's a lot of problems with this, because
I beat you at that trivia too.
As far as we know, this technology has never been used on anything aside from mice, right? And never to the extent they're talking about. On top of that, there's also the problem with, where are they going to release these mammoths once they actually have them? Are they going to have to buy land from the Siberian government, from Siberia, from the Russian government? Are they going to have land donated to them in Canada? Nobody knows where they're going to actually put these things. They're going to have them in the Arctic tundra somewhere, hypothetically. There's a lot of problems, and I have a feeling in a few years, this $15 million from investors might end up in somebody's pocket on a Caribbean beach somewhere. I don't know.
Do you have the notes from last week's show? How much was raised for the poop scanning technology?
Oh, that was
how much
the previous week.
Raised for the blood scanning technology?
Yeah, that was the previous
How
week.
much was raised for the juice squirter automatic 3000?
The juice squirter automatic 3000. That was the After Dark show, David.
Was it the After Dark show?
No, I'm kidding.
No, I was like, wait a minute. I remember doing it on the show. It was live.
But you're right. You're right. Look at it's the company that's on trial right now.
Yeah, you're looking it up there. So so last week we were demonstrating and talking about these companies. A couple of them, one of them on trial. We got some other people on the run, and then another one is bankrupt. Literally 3 people, and all of them, I believe, raised significantly more than $15 million.
Oh yeah, so it was Elizabeth Holmes for Theranos. So raised a.
That's the blood people, right? That's the blood.
Yes, raised it was technically a metric crap ton of investor money. And funny thing, so her personal, she's on trial right now for fraud, for stealing millions and millions of dollars from investors. And as part of the evidence for this fraud trial, some of her personal messages are coming out, texts and DMs and whatnot. And she actually refers to herself in third person in most cases, talking about herself being one of the greatest business people of all time. So well, we at the Underdog Journey
would like to say, to speak of ourselves collectively in a third person and give you an honest opinion on what this woman is.
Look, just think, someday this is going to make a great movie. It's what it boils down.
You know what? Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a few weeks since we've really went tangent crazy, but have you watched the Fire Festival documentary?
Oh, that is such a good one. Ooh, I have another.
Oh, I love it. You haven't watched it? Okay, I have to watch it. Anybody out there? It was on Netflix, I believe. I don't know if it's still on Netflix. If it's my dog my tangent inside of a tangent here. My dog sees the dog treats on my desk in here and is standing right there. I've got
Oh yeah.
12 paneled glass out here. You can look over there. I think you should be able to see him. But there's the dog standing right there, just looking. Am I back in the right spot, West?
Yeah, yeah, you are. It's true. Dogs go crazy for these dog treats. I'm telling you, everybody watching, listening, go to underdogplus.com and you can learn more about these dog treats. They're not available for sale yet because I'm still getting lab testing to legally sell in every. Here's the thing. Another little tangent here. So to legally sell dog food,
I need to write down how many tangents we're out right now.
It technically counts as animal feed, right? So you need to go through the FDA and your state's Department of Agriculture if you want to sell in that state. Here's the thing. If you want to sell these things online, and typically if you sell online, you want to ship them anywhere in the United States, if you're in the States, you need to get approval, legal approval, from every state that you want to sell in. So to sell these things, I need to get lab testing and legal approval from Department of Agriculture of every single state. So I'm in the works. It's happening. It's just a laborious process. That's all. So go to underdogplus.com. You can learn more about it. And if you sign up, I will send you, as soon as I'm legally allowed, I will send you a free sample of dog treats, free of charge. You don't even have to pay shipping. Just let me know. I'll send you some because they're that good.
We have already this lady from Branching Out Bottle, the Branching Out Bottle Shop, has already agreed to put these on her shelf.
Wait, put yours? Put those or Underdog's?
The Underdog Plus on her shelf.
Oh, you didn't tell me that. You didn't tell me. You should have started. You didn't tell me that.
I wanted to tell you live online so everybody could get your reaction.
So I need to hurry up and get New York's Department of Agriculture on the phone, and we're gonna make this happen. Okay.
Everybody knows New York. There's like no bureaucracy. There's like zero red tape. You walk in, they're like, boom, done, and you're out.
It's like the Wild West.
I won't tell you what we're going through with driver's license over here.
I have no comments.
We couldn't buy a car in New York because of the issues with trying to figure out our licenses from Ohio to here. It was bonkers.
Oh, man.
So anyway.
Funny thing.
Now we got to walk it back. Dog treat, dog outside, looking at the dog treats. Fire Festival.
Oh,
Fire Festival was an absolute beautiful catastrophe.
Yes, go to Netflix, look for the Fire Festival documentary. It's amazing. It's almost like it's made up. It's so crazy. You're like, this can't possibly be real. Oh, it's real.
Yep. And here's another person that, they had a great idea, and some good backing in it.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, they raised a ton of money, and but the guy who was in charge of this whole thing was defrauding literally everybody involved.
Yeah, everybody, and there was a lot of people. From major bands to supermodels to rap stars. Is it rap star? Is that how you say it? Rap star? I don't even know. But anyway,
yeah,
all these groups of people, and you just have to go watch. You just have to watch it. So watch that. It's a great time. And then you guys will kind of see a little bit more some of the lovely people that we're talking about now. Sorry, I got interrupted here. Matt Harmon tells me, Dave, you need to get sun. Why would I?
Dave, I think you look great. You don't need any more sun.
Oh, no, I accidentally turned this light over here up a little too high today, so I'm a little more whitewashed than I should be.
You look great. But no, it's funny you brought up Fire Festival, because there was a story that I almost brought to the surface that I didn't think made it, but we're going to cover it now. So you mentioned one of the people in charge of Fire Festival, one of the main sponsors, was a rapper named Ja Rule. Ja Rule is apparently
as a special point of notice I've ever had is from Ja Rule.
Yeah.
Only because I had a car with the big bumping speakers in it, and it was the only thing I could find at the time that had the crazy bass. So
Ja Rule, could I say that any more like a white guy? Ja Rule was not only one of the people in charge of the Fire Festival, but he now has his own cryptocurrencies launching and NFT project. So, we've talked a lot about crypto and a lot about NFTs. And he's even still monetizing on the Fire Festival thing. In March,
Oh
the
man.
Murder Inc. rapper sold a Fire Festival painting for $122,000 in cryptocurrency. Wow. So, look, I'm not sure.
But right now,
Here's the thing.
wherever that money went should be taken and given to some of the victims of that defraudment. It was on a colossal scale. All right, sorry, we're so far off, but we've talked quite a bit about cryptocurrencies and NFTs. So, what's the name of his cryptocurrency?
What is the name of his cryptocurrency? That's a great question. I wasn't prepared to present this today, but let's see. Launched an NFT project called. His NFT project is called Flipkick.io. Let's see.
Non-fungible token marketplace. All right, so he's in there with Robert Testagrossa and James Kropcho, I believe is how you pronounce that. And I believe that I'm going to take a stab in the dark, and if we look up these two guys, they're going to have a lot more financial background and a lot more tech background. And Ja Rule's going to have a lot more public-facing.
Well, and that's it too. And that was really his role too with Fire Festival. He really didn't have he really didn't have the background, but he had the following, which is what the guy who really defrauded everybody with Fire Festival needed. So let's actually see if we can go to Flipkick.io. Let's see what happens if we go to Flipkick.io.
Okay. I gotta check Netflix right now to see.
There we go. I'm glad. No porn popped up. Some questionable. But if you're interested in,
dangerous, yeah.
Oh, there's his fire painting that he sold for a little bit of money. But look, if you're interested in Ja Rule and or his NFT project, go to flipkick.io and you can get amazing paintings like this guy called Miseducation.
You know what? I got to tell you, that is actually infinitely better than the potatoes we were looking at last week, or rocks, or whatever it was.
That was a couple of weeks ago, but you're right. There's actually some fairly decent paintings here.
Yeah, like there, it's not too bad. There's a couple of them there that are actually good. I wouldn't mind having the art part of it, but I'm not going to pay for an NFT on something I can literally right-click, take down. But I did go ahead and check on Netflix. It's FYRE. FYRE, The Greatest Party That Never Happened. It's the documentary on the Fire Festival. It is still on Netflix. It might actually, I think it is a Netflix original. So I don't think it will actually be going away anytime soon. So,
yes.
But don't take your time. It's definitely worth a watch.
Yeah, it was a great documentary. And the funny thing, so it's a Netflix original. It's not going anywhere. But there was another one, I think it was a Hulu documentary that came out at almost the exact same time. Didn't get quite the same press because it's on Hulu versus Netflix. Nothing against Hulu. I'm just saying. They're both pretty good. I highly recommend them, though. Again, it's so bat crap crazy. You just can't believe this is a real thing. So
yeah, it is great. I mean, I'm sitting here watching this whole thing, going, man, it's not like that's my hangout group of people now, but if I were 20 years old or 21 years old now, then
yeah,
I could have been there, and not actually I couldn't have been. Because at 21, I wasn't making the money that would have allowed me to do. Although
people who went
it does look like something I would have went with a lot of people and be like, all right, guys, this is our big thing. We're going to go do it.
Most of the people who bought tickets to this thing and actually went were pretty well-to-do. So I don't think like the average Joe was ever going to go to the Fire Festival.
Oh, the people who bought tickets and went, their parents were well-to-do.
Right.
They weren't old enough to make anything of themselves yet. So
right.
So actually, last week we got onto our spreadsheet because we love spreadsheets, being business guys.
Love spreadsheets.
Spreadsheets make the world go round, and we got a late start into it. Excuse me.
Something like
However, not quite as late a start as we are tonight. So this spreadsheet's actually going to carry into next week's episode as well.
maybe.
Which I will actually be on the road in, I think, New Hampshire for Wednesday nights. Oh, I might be traveling back.
Oh.
So I don't know. I'll try to get back here. If not, we might be Thursday. But I'll look at my calendar and I'll definitely let you know and let everybody else know about how we're looking next week.
Maybe we'll just make this a running segment. We'll just do 10 a week for the next 6 weeks.
For the next 6 weeks. That might be it. So let's get on to it. So where did we leave off last week on our lovely business roadmap framework spreadsheet?
Right. So basically, just to recap kind of what this is. So we've talked a lot about road mapping and learning the things that you don't even know that you don't know about how to start a business. Sorry, I've been sick. I still have a little scratchy in the throat there. But so a lot of people
global pain, sniffles of death.
Not even close. Thank goodness. So a lot of people, they want to start a business, but they don't even know where to begin. It's once they kind of start, it kind of starts like a hobby, but all the little details, all the little minutiae start piling up, and before you know it, it becomes just unwieldy and just overwhelming, and you can't keep it all straight unless you have a roadmap. Things where you can keep all these details organized, you can check them off as you go, and then guess what? Not only do you have the gamification of actually getting to complete parts of the project as if they're like the levels of a mission of a game, but you also get to keep the record of how you did things, what you did to get there, and if you completed a step or not. And the great thing about having a good roadmap is, if there's something that you don't even know that you don't know, when you get there, you can always add it to the spreadsheet and say, oh, there we go. And now I know for the next time. And
yep, we talked about that last week about, how the roadmap works is, especially on there are certain groups that have heard us say, especially you say many, many times, I don't know what I don't know.
Yep.
But when you properly sit down, and it doesn't have to be, you don't have to do this by yourself. Get your team together. Build your team and then get your team together and then roadmap with them. You might even want to roadmap by yourself to get your right team. And I don't mean putting names of this cousin or that aunt or any of that. I'm saying you are looking for personalities and skills. I always look at personality first, because guess what? The personality will let me know what they're suitable for. And if they don't have quite the skills I need right away, but they have the personality for it, that means their aptitude is probably in line to learn those skills that I need for them. So roadmap your team, get your team together, and then roadmap your business.
Absolutely.
In some cases, you may not need, depending on the size of your business and what you're doing or what your business is, you may not need to roadmap the team. But you do need to roadmap your business, no matter how big or how small it is. Doesn't matter if you are selling dog treats. I have a friend, I think she's related to me some which way, called the Drunken Bottle is the name of her business.
You talk about this, yeah.
And I want to get her products on here so you guys can see them, because I'm going to buy some when I build my man cave, either in here or probably out in the small garage. But I'm going to use those for it. And, even that business, doesn't matter how big or how small. If you're selling Buckeye necklaces at football games, you want to make a business at it, roadmap it.
Well, so we have a bit of an audience.
I can't see, but it sounds like we have some visitors. There we are.
We got Mrs. Giggles, and we got the guy with the USB stick. Show him your USB stick.
His overdrive.
It's his overdrive. He likes the overdrive.
That is not nearly as okay. So he's got a Spider-Man T-shirt on this week. Not a, what was it, cephalopods last week? Was it he was wearing?
Yes, cephalopods. Good memory.
Yes.
What's on your?
Last week the young man was wearing the cephalopod T-shirt. This week it's the Spider-Man T-shirt. Tell me, is next week the Demon Spider T-shirt?
Hey, do you have a Demon Spider T-shirt?
Demon Spider.
Oh, he's talking about Emily Pidgeots.
Yeah.
He calls them Demon Spiders.
We don't have any yet,
But we will soon.
Yeah. We'll get some. Don't worry.
Yeah, don't.
Would you rather have an ambly pidget or a vinegaroon?
Vinegaroon because
Vinegaroon.
they can spray.
Are you sure?
They
I thought
spray
it was the
acid.
vinegaroons that were the demon spiders.
Well, vinegaroons spray acid, and ambly pidgets kind of look similar, but they don't.
Oh, they're not demon spiders, Dave. They're harmless. Oh, these ones spray acid. That is the definition of a demon spider.
So everybody out there, Google vinegaroon. It sounds like a made-up word, but it's totally a real thing. Hey, can you guys say goodnight?
Night.
Good night.
I have to put my hand way up here.
Put it way up there, Catherine, so you can see it.
That's because you're short.
There you go. Okay. Good night, guys.
Come on, Shorty.
Good night.
Okay. Sweet dreams.
Good night.
Until next time.
Exactly. And we're just barely getting to the main subject. Speaking of demon spiders, Matthew Hamlin says he needs to get some
gear.
Some gear, Shannon Black. So he needs to get some real life outdoors with Shannon Black.
I happen to know that Matt Hamlin owns his own business as well. And for the life of me, he's going to hate me. I can't remember the name of it. Fidelity Mobile Fidelity Wrapping. I think it's Fidelity Mobile or something along those lines. I'm sure he'll comment here in a moment and let us know. But he does car wrapping. And I know with the new logos and everything that they put together for the Real Life Outdoors, they're getting ready to wrap the hood and the tailgate of Shannon's pickup truck.
Oh, we got to get photos of that. That's cool.
Yeah, we got to get it on here. Fidelity Mobile Wrapping Solutions. That's it. Fidelity Mobile Wrapping Solutions. See, I remembered it, but I didn't remember the whole thing.
Yeah, Matt, put your URL in the comments. We'd love to send people there. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So we got to see that's done.
On this, because me and my son are stubborn, we are going to start wrapping his Ford Mustang. He's wanting to go gloss black. So I am going to do a side-by-side comparison. Now, I'm an amateur, complete amateur with, I'm thinking of the guy. Anyway, it's not what I do, but we're going to give it a shot. It's not what I do, but it's what I'm going to do. So we're going to give it a shot. And I want to show you the difference between somebody who, I'm a relatively handy guy, but I want to show you the difference between a relatively handy guy and a professional. And we're going to have a side-by-side comparison of how you shouldn't do something versus what a professional who can do this does this every day.
Yeah.
You got to remember when somebody's saying, hey, X, and this goes back to the business as well, never sell yourself short. Your time is very valuable. You are not just charging for the hours that you're spending on a job.
Yep.
You're also charging for all of the hours it took you to get that level of competency.
That's true. You need to charge what you're worth. When you start underpricing yourself, that's dangerous.
That's very, very dangerous, and it can go. I call it the chase to the bottom.
Yeah, it's called a race to the bottom. It's a real thing. And look, at a race to the bottom, everybody loses.
Everybody loses. So as where I came from and the type of sales I did in a past life, I always stayed out of what I called the gutter. If they're in a race to the bottom, and I knew who these customers were, I knew the style, and I didn't honestly have to know what the customer did. I just know how they went to market or how they went to bid, that they were looking for the low price.
Right.
Well, my time, not even, I mean, I'm just a guy in an office. My time's extremely valuable to me, and my technicians and my service group and the service manager and all of this barge of people behind me, with a small number, all of their time is even more valuable to me. So I stayed out of it. And I had multiple people say, hey, I want you to bid on this. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm not interested. Oh, you're too busy for it? Yeah.
It's true.
It's quality work to be messing with this. So if you're going in, let's say you're a photographer.
Mm-hmm.
This is a very big one because this camera right here will record 8K video and 128 megapixel photographs.
Okay.
And everybody else on the face of the planet is walking around with one of these, plus or minus quality-wise. Now, I've got a DSLR sitting over here, and I bought another one that's setting up in a closet to give away to one of my friends, and actually their daughter, I believe. But when you start kind of compare yourself to the person that's just taking a snapshot, entering their Snapchat's a thing, right?
Yes, Snapchat's
their Snapchat filter on it.
Well, sort of.
That's not a photographer,
right?
So
True.
Yeah, they can go and do your photo shoot for $50.
Mm-hmm.
You should never do that. If you're a photographer, you should not do that. Now, actually, we happen to have a photographer who watches our show, and I didn't even think about that. I was thinking about somebody completely separate I was talking to. Matthew Harmon, who owns the Little Red Hen Photography.
Yes. Look for a Little Red
He did a great favor and he did a phenomenal job.
He did
it for me as a favor, but it was, still $300-400 to come and do the pictures for me for a wedding.
Yeah.
Which, to be honest, he did that for me as a favor. But anybody else, I mean, you got to start at $1,000 to $1,500.
Oh yeah, and because there's so many things that go on behind the scenes that you as the client don't know about, right? So, like any business, it's not just the number of hours you spend directly on that job. You're spending hours talking to clients. You're spending hours in pre-development before you actually go into doing what it is that you do. You're spending money on the logistics that take place behind the scenes. The client never has to see. You're spending money on all of the assets, the technology, the services that you need to be able to do your job. So
understanding that if the church is facing or your area is facing this direction and there's a window, that you need to have a photographer on this side versus that side because of lighting effects and glare and things of that nature that are going to wash out your photo. There's so much stuff we're just talking about photography right now. That's something that, I can take a great picture with my phone, but you challenge me up against somebody who does this. Like I'm not challenging Matt Hamlin, but we're going to show you the difference because I've seen his work online, and he throws out the challenges to other professionals. Yeah, that's great. That's great. You posted a picture of your hood all flat, and I believe his words were, "Show me those corners."
There you go.
Because guess what? It's easy to snap a photo. It's really hard to snap a moment in history, or a moment to be remembered. It's very easy to lay a piece of plastic and a heat gun across something that's very flat. It's very hard, to make it go around the edges and on the corners and stuff. So
and that's part of it too. You're paying for the expertise of the professional doing the work. You're not just paying for your friend's 16-year-old daughter who has a great Facebook page so you think she knows photography. You're paying for the years of experience that went into the person who knows you need this kind of lighting, you need this lens, you need to be faced here. Or even something as simple as those dog treats right there in front of you, David. Even something as simple as dog treats. Yeah, you could go to Walmart and you can get a 5-pound box of treats for $3. However,
we talked about this. Yes.
However, can you pronounce most of the words?
You can go get the. Is it Old Roy? I think Old Roy is the name of those dog treats.
However, can you pronounce most of the words on the
back?
No, you can't. You can't pronounce most of those words because it's chemicals. Can you? Do you know if the ingredients they use are even safe for dogs in some cases? Maybe not. And here's the problem with even some local small producers like that. Do you know where they're getting their ingredients? Like it says peanut butter. However, do we even know if that is organic peanut butter or peanut butter with artificial sweeteners? Because a lot of artificial sweeteners can be very dangerous for dogs. But a lot of people don't know that. Are the grains pre-hopped or not? If they were, that's a problem because hops are deadly to poisonous to dogs. We hope they're not. I assume they're not. But the thing is when you have artisanal products, when you have artisanal products from a professional, no matter what the industry is, you're paying for the expertise to ensure you're getting a better product.
Yep.
Matt Hamlin says
Yep.
his dog loves peanut butter, and Matt Hamlin, peanut butter loves your dog.
Matt Hamlin, because it's your dog. Your dog. I'm just gonna leave that right there.
I don't know where that's going.
If you've never, okay, all right. We've had a lot of hey, go watch this movie. Go watch Road Trip. You'll get it.
Yes, good one. Road Trip was a great movie.
Crack open. Okay, so
we
had the longboard. It was good. It was delicious. It went away very quickly.
Hey, here's the challenge. Shannon Black says you need to eat one of those treats.
What?
Shannon Black challenged you. I don't blame me.
We literally just said we don't know where the peanut butter came from.
No. Artificial sweetener in peanut butter is good for people. It's not good for dogs. Kind of like how dogs can't eat grapes, but people can. Same thing.
Our dog loves raspberries.
Raspberries are fine. No grapes, no raisins. They can't have them.
Oh, okay. So we have a spreadsheet that we're going to put up on a website somewhere that you guys can peruse at your own leisure, because we're never getting to the dang thing.
If we ever get to the subject, we are going to cover more of this next week. But look, so road mapping is actually really important to your business, and I promise you, we will get to this, and we will actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to post this for download for everybody to see. You can keep this, you can customize this to yourself. We're going to run through this real quick before we leave. Basically,
there's more.
But wait, there's more.
Because we hadn't gotten into it yet. This is actually some notes I had from a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
Because we have a viewer that's working on an idea that needs to be patented, and
can you tell us what that is, David?
I took the time. What's that?
Can you tell us what that idea is? Tell the whole world what that idea is.
I cannot tell what this idea is. I'm excited for it. I hope he follows through. I hope he does it. I'm here to support him, and because
you told me what it was. It's a good idea.
Yeah, I told you what it is, but it's safe with you because things and stuff. But there are, when you're on your roadmap, one of the things, especially for this person, needs to be your patent and copyright stuff.
That's on
there. There are three main patents. One of them we're not going to talk about because it has to do with, I think, plants. It's like a plant patent. We're not going to talk about that. I don't mean a plant like a packaging plant. I mean like literally growing a specific type of plant.
You can't patent plants.
Well, there actually is a plant patent that you can get from the U.S. and it's very specific, and I believe it has to do with genetically modified stuff. So
you can patent a GMO genetic.
Yeah. So there's patents out there for that. We're not going to go over those because if somebody comes to us and says, "Hey, Dave, I CRISPR'd this corn cob. What can you do for me?" All right, we'll go look at the freaking plant patents. But until then, there's a design patent, and a utility patent.
Okay.
And of the two, the one that you need most is both. Okay.
Of the two, the one that you need most is both.
Exactly.
Okay.
I would just me.
Okay.
I would never go with just one. The utility patent and the design patent. The utility patent actually is what the patent of the product is.
Mm-hmm.
Say the process, how it kind of does what it does.
Mm-hmm.
It's what most of us think of when we think patent.
Okay.
The design patent is how it looks.
Okay.
And how it makes it unique. So, in my opinion, there's no reason not to patent both.
You're right, and I'll tell you why you're
always go for both.
You haven't explained why you're right. I'll tell you why you're right, though. You want the design patent because that is what the product will look like. That is the product.
Exactly.
We
could come out with a product that's made 30 to 40% different than that Juice-O-Matic Squeezer 3000.
Right. So
and they could look identical if they don't have a design patent.
Well, so here's the thing. So you want your design patent because that's your product. That's what it looks like. That's what it is. However, there's nothing stopping anybody from taking the principle of your product, making it look different, and they just copied your product. You want the utility
Exactly.
patent to patent the functionality of the product.
Which is why I said the one you need most is both.
There you go. That makes sense. It makes sense.
Yes. And so, and even if you are, let's say you're taking a, let's see, who's out there? They're still trying to get me to eat these freaking dog treats. Shannon Black's out there. Okay, so Shannon Black's out there, fishing reels. Let's say you have an Abu Garcia 5500C fishing reel. I think that's a thing. I think I have one. So you've got that. Now, if you have a way to take that exact reel and make an improvement upon it, you're allowed to make the patent to the improvement. So it is under the utility patent of improvements on a product. So just because you don't own the base patent on a product doesn't mean you can't patent an improvement of that product, which is very important.
Got it. Okay, makes sense.
So, and this goes back into the idea which I've shared with you that, you know, we can't talk about because, I mean, this is another person's business idea. And until he gets the patents on it, we can't really talk about it because, you know, then it'll be up for grabs. But I cannot explain to you how excited I am to see this come to fruition.
And you know what? When he gets those patents, we will walk through every step of the process of him making it real. But before we can talk about it in detail, he needs those patents.
He needs those patents. That is what we need from him. We can then, after that's done, we can go in and really start tearing into the business plan and the roadmap for him, and help him as much as possible.
Right.
Them,
In the meantime,
she, it.
In the meantime, what I will do is I will post this roadmap, and I will post a link to the roadmap where everybody can download it for free. You can plug in your own business ideas in there. And here's the great thing about a good roadmap. If you think you want to start a business and you're not quite sure, look, you always need to start the business before you're ready, because the sooner you start, the sooner you can actually get going. However, here's a really interesting thing though. Let's say you have an idea, you're not so sure, you kind of think you do. Start filling out the roadmap. Download the roadmap, start plugging in that business information. And what that's going to do is that's going to inform you of all the things that you didn't consider ahead of time, so you can learn how complicated it might or might not actually be. Because something as simple as, you know, dog treats, you wouldn't think how complicated all of the legal regulations and all of the different things that you need, all the hoops you need to jump through to make this happen, how difficult that actually is until you have it laid down, listed out for you on paper. So your idea might be super simple. You might be able to jump off and start doing it right now, or you might have some legal loopholes to jump through. Either way, if you start thinking about these things ahead of time and having it listed out in a nice, neat, clean, concise way, it's going to help you get started that much faster.
So I go back to the life safety world, which is, you know, where I'm comfortable. I know it. I feel it. It's in my blood. It's what I do. So let's say you have a fire alarm system that is 15 years old, and you have a company out there that says you need to replace your system. I might be able to limp it along until you get the money for it for the next year, but you need to. And then you have another company comes in and says, oh, well, I can replace this one thing here. You'll be fine. It costs you a lot, man. Don't buy a whole new system. You don't want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So one of these companies is trying to protect and have a relationship with you.
Yep.
One of these companies is trying to make a sale.
Yep.
What you don't understand is it's completely backwards from what you think. The company that's saying, I can limp this along, you need to get in a budget and replace this system, is the company that's trying to have a relationship with you. And the company that's saying, no, here you go. Here's your part. Here's the cost. Look how much money I saved you. If your system is 15 years old, that means the parts for it aren't being made anymore. It's obsolete. Most likely, when it fails, it's going to cost you 50% more to do it under an emergency circumstance than to plan for it.
That's true.
So it's a huge thing of being able to identify who is selling you something to who is just really trying to look out for you for a long-term thing. So when you're sitting there doing your business, and this is how it ties in here, is when you're sitting there doing your business planning, it's much easier and in most times a heck of a lot cheaper to plan for regulatory compliance than to get hit with fines and emergency stuff to bring it up.
That makes sense.
So if West had not went through and said, all right, this is my roadmap, this is what I got to do. Oh crap, I need regulatory compliance with all these states in order to push this business.
Oh my God.
Then had he went forward creating a website on what's the Square? You know what? Well, let's use Square. Square has, payment processing and everything in one package.
They do.
You can do that. You can set it up in one night, and he could have been selling this stuff and out until he got caught.
And a lot of people do that. A lot of people, that's the problem they run into, is they don't think about all of the little loopholes they need to jump through to actually make this legal and make it happen. So what do? They just set up a shop overnight. They get caught. They get hit with fines. They're like, it's not worth my time. Because
it's not worth my time. I'm out.
Well,
close the business and it's gone.
Yeah, the profit margins on these are super small. And here's the interesting thing. With Underdog Plus dog treats, little plug, 20% of all profits, once I start selling these things, are going to go to local dog rescues. So it's not even about making money. It's about the mission of creating a great product and giving a little back to the community. But a lot of people, they get hit with these fines, and they're like, it's not worth my time. I have a day job. Take it. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't need this headache. This was just a headache. Well, not really. Okay, you know what? We're going to take this to marketing because I love marketing. As a sales guy who understands that marketing really can save my patootie.
You're welcome. Marketing guy, by the way.
Yes.
Noticed.
Yes, the marketing guy. So, and that's why we work so well together is we have a sales guy, we have a marketing guy, and we have a sales guy and a business management guy who understands the power of proper marketing. So let's go. We're going to go company A, marketing A, Acme Marketing, and Going West Media.
Okay.
All right. So we have these two companies, and you're going here, and this guy's saying, this is the front end cost. This is the package you're going to get. This is the influence. This is the search engine optimization package we're doing. This is the outreach we're going to do. This is the email campaigns. All of these things over here. It's going to cost you $5,000 a month to do this plan. And when you go, well, how many sales can you guarantee me? And the people from Going West Media say, well, 0. We're doing your marketing. You will need your sales team to do the sales part of it. We're going to drive business your way, but you need salespeople to close the business.
This sounds eerily like a conversation we may or may not have had at one point.
Yeah. Now, well, I mean, this is a conversation we've had, but then it is a conversation we've had because it sounds familiar because it's a conversation that every marketing firm has had. So, but then they go over here and you hear they say, this is what we're going to do. We're going to post on your Facebook. We're going to have you do some voiceovers for this. We're going to use this. I need your product images here. We're going to pepper Facebook and YouTube and all these things where your product doesn't meet the it's not in your avatar.
Right.
And we're going to charge you $250 a month. After your initial down payment of $3,500. Now, I'm literally making numbers up. Yeah. Literally, these are arbitrary, just made up numbers.
Yeah.
For anybody out there, this story is if there's any similarities between you and this story, that's completely coincidental.
Yes.
Because this is not based off of a scenario. This is based off of multiple scenarios.
Almost every small business that's not started by somebody who has a marketing background has had this exact same scenario run by them. Some marketing agency.
So what you do is you look at it and then you're like, man, this is over here, these guys, but they're not guaranteeing me any sales. This guy over here could do a lot, or I can pay 15 chicken nuggets a week to my niece over there, and she can post on Facebook once a week.
Yeah, that's it.
What does your roadmap say? How does it work with your plan?
Right.
For the future? How does it work in your plan on your roadmap, your business roadmap framework? And your your goal, and not necessarily the business roadmap framework, but your business plan, which we'll get to in about 12 episodes based on the rate we're going. How do you see it in there with your milestones of where you're going to be? Because guess what? If you don't pay anybody anything and you don't get anything, I guess you're not out anything except business, which is your whole purpose. If you pay somebody a minimal amount of money, the chase to the bottom, and you get almost zero return on that investment, you still lost. But if you pay somebody a reasonable rate and they are funneling 10 to 15,000 leads a month to you that your sales team can convert at 80%, because these are all qualified leads now. These are people looking for your product.
Mm-hmm.
These are not people looking, let's say beer, because, who doesn't like beer? So you have some people that's looking for beer, that's selling a beer. And the marketing team over here says, you know what? For minimal cost, I can give you an email list of 50,000 potential customers. Or the guy that's over here doing this saying, I'm going to drive 10,000, which is a lot less by 40,000 than this other person at 50 per month to you. But these 10,000 people are looking to buy beer.
Right, and we've talked about that before. 1,000 True Fans is one, or what is it? Is it Superfan, the one you talked about?
Raving Fans.
Raving Fans. There's a book called Raving Fans. There's another one from another guy called 1,000 True Fans, and it talks about you shouldn't aim for 10 million people who don't care about you but follow you on Facebook. No, you want 1,000 people who love what you do, because those 1,000 people are infinitely more valuable than those 10 million people. And what you're talking about reminds me a lot of the Henry Ford quote we read last week, which is
I got it queued up. I got it queued up and ready to go right now.
A man who stops an advertising budget to save money is like a man who stops a clock to save time.
I wish I could share my screen. I had it queued because I knew we were going to come to it.
Yeah.
I knew we were going to come to it.
And that's what it comes down to.
Say it again. Say it again slower, and I'll be quiet.
Are you sure?
No, actually, no, I'm not sure, but let's give it a try.
A man who stops advertising to save money is like a man who stops a clock to save time.
Freaking poetry.
Henry Ford said this. And it's just as true today as it was back then.
And it'll be just as true in 100 years
Absolutely.
as it is right now.
It's completely timeless. And you need to think about that with your business. No matter what your business is, regardless of what your business is in the entire world, in the history of time. Since advertising was invented in ancient Egypt, you need to think about this.
So, no, we're going to fast forward. I'm going to go the other way. In Star Trek times, because we've already had Star Trek conversations earlier.
Okay.
In Star Trek times, where money doesn't matter.
You didn't see many pop-up ads on the Enterprise computer.
I didn't.
Which would have been awesome.
You don't see it. But, yes, because they didn't work then, they don't work now. You interrupt something I'm trying to do, you're guaranteed not to get me as a customer.
Right.
But more importantly, abstractly,
okay,
even though there's not real money in the time of the Star Treks, you still need to market. You still want to be the person that provides the best service. So it's not one company doing something. There's still multiple people building the USS Enterprise. You want to be the best company building that, providing their parts and providing the stuff. And how do you do that? You do that with marketing. Even though your marketing may not cost you anything, because it's a far more social economic model that they use then or in the future. But it circles around to you're still marketing yourself. Even if there wasn't money to keep track of who's winning, there's a number of jobs to keep track of who's winning. And I got to tell you, I don't care how far evolved we get, we want to win.
It's true.
Period.
Look,
Doesn't matter. We want to win.
look. No matter when you're living, you got to make it rain gold press latinum. Getting nerdy up in here.
Oh, Data would be proud.
Quark would be proud.
Yes. What was they weren't in the Ferengi. They weren't in the
Quark.
the original series, but the Ferengis
No,
were.
Ferengis were in the original series, or not the original.
Were they?
You're right. No, you're right. I was thinking
They were next gen
Next Generation. Sorry, because
versus Deep Space Nine. Yeah.
they had, so Quark had a much bigger play in Deep Space Nine, and when you said original series, my brain went back to Next Generation, not like the original series. So yes,
because to us, and this is going to offend some people, but to us, the original Star Trek is the Next Generation.
Well, because we weren't alive in this.
And
when the
original series
yeah.
is classic.
Now,
it's
William
like
Shatner, I know you're watching this. I apologize. But look, William Shatner, if you want to leave a comment,
called me earlier, said he wasn't going to be able to be on tonight. Man. He wasn't going to be able to watch tonight. He had some other engagements with the chick from Big Bang Theory.
Well, look, more power to you. Got to do what you got to do. I got no qualms with that.
Well, I got to tell you, this was quite a fun show.
We didn't actually get to the main topic, but we got a lot of stuff done. We did
get a lot of stuff done. You know, one of the things, I've been literally, this thing doesn't leave my desk. And as I come up with stuff, and this one actually had been torn apart, but there's a couple of them laying around here. I keep a running note as things strike my mind throughout the week of, this needs to go in here. And the design patent and the utility patent had not been through here, but also on the notepad was Dog Treats and Fire Festival. So,
well, I mean, you had some great news today. I didn't realize that you had gotten the owner of
Branching Out Bottle Shop
to carry Underdog Plus Dog Treats. That's
Underdog Plus Dog Treats coming to you soon, pending approval, of course, governmental approval, to the Branching Out Bottle Shop, the Underdog Plus Dog Treats. This place is actually, if you're in central New York, it's near the Costco out there. It's about 25 minutes or so away from my house. Yes, that is how far I drive to go get beer.
I'm surprised it's only 25 minutes. I've seen you drive pretty far for beer.
Yes.
You've driven back to Columbus for beer.
Yes, and I'll do it again too. So that is where I am at. And honestly, I've just started my the Springdale Das Weizen. So what beer are you on tonight right now?
I just poured a Great Lakes Oktoberfest. Great Lakes.
Oh,
great beer. Great Lakes. Good.
So a few weeks ago, I had Great Lakes, and my favorite of their beers, the Elliott Ness.
That's a good beer. That wins awards every year at every company they go to. Elliott Ness is a great beer.
It won the Calling Dinosaurs award for me a few weeks ago. I hurt myself. Okay, I was already 2 liters in when I poured myself a liter of Great Lakes Elliott Ness.
You said Calling Dinosaurs?
Yes. Calling Dinosaurs.
That's an award?
That's when you drink too much and you need to expel the excess.
Oh, I've never heard that phrase before.
Calling Dinosaurs. Go back and watch the movie, because tonight's about going back and watching movies. Go back and watch the movie Varsity Blues, and that'll come up there too.
Okay, that's fair.
So I think it's before the teacher scene. I know everybody gets stuck in it.
So the only reference point in that movie is the teacher scene for you, huh?
Well, no, it's actually the Calling the Dinosaur scene. So, but that's good, but man, it's delicious, just delicious beer. But I still haven't gotten into my Dunkel yet, because they have actually they're going to have a hard time, and plus Dunkel I think should be drank a little warmer, so it's probably about the temperature now that it needs to be drank. But I don't believe I'm going to get to those Oktoberfest tonight. That's just not going to happen. I don't know, but I happened to look down at the screen here a little bit ago, and I had this glass in my hand, and I kind of felt like Andre the Giant holding the can, because the can in Andre the Giant's hand looks like a shot glass.
Okay.
Like at Christmas, I got big mittens. But anyway, the Springdale Das Weizen.
Yeah.
Really good beer. You see the cloudiness in it is really exactly where it should be. It doesn't have the banana overtones that it would normally have, that you would normally see with a Weizen beer. But and it doesn't have the clove. It's got a touch of clove. It does have a touch of clove.
See, and that's the
but it's not as powerful.
In the Hofbrau Hefeweizen, one of the things I love is you can taste every part of that beer.
Oh yes, you can.
Every tiny little flavor that you're supposed to taste
it breaks down so well.
Yeah. It's perfect. I would go so far as to say that the Hofbrau House Hefeweizen from Jason is perfect.
It is probably about, and I know we've talked about it. I mean, we used to broadcast from their stage, and hopefully we will get to do so again here in the near future. I'll get out there during a middle of a week, and I'll travel over, and I'll probably be traveling to Buffalo, and then just skip down and see if we can do a Wednesday night podcast from their stage again.
Let's do it.
And I guarantee you, I'll be drinking the Hefeweizen.
Absolutely, 100%.
Guarantee you. It's just such a great beer, and it breaks down so well.
So I want to share something.
Now,
we're back on the subject of beer. I didn't get the camera all set up here. Hold on a second here. Since we're back on the subject of beer, I want to go through. So I follow Ohio Craft Beer. This is a nonprofit organization that promotes local breweries. But next Tuesday, if you're in Central Ohio, next Tuesday is actually kind of a holiday. It is the Ohio Pint Day, where they had special pint glasses made up that are going to be available at 150 local Ohio breweries. David, I'm going to grab you one of these on Tuesday. And,
yes, please do.
But this is the 2021 glass that was custom made for this event and is only available from certain Central Ohio breweries. But
I'll be in New Hampshire on Tuesday.
The great thing about living in Columbus is there are so many great local breweries. I mean,
yeah.
If even if you're not like go Ohio type of person, we have so many great local beers, and we support local breweries so much. It's just, I mean, it's awesome. If I could go back in time, I would 100% start a brewery in Columbus, Ohio.
There was a point where we actually had a couple people that could have invested in, and we could have bought a brewery. Unfortunately,
well, we can say it now.
By the time it got released to the public, there was already a deal in the background.
Right.
And everybody got locked out, because I kept calling saying, hey, I want to tour, I want to see, I want to look, because we were going to pull together, the few people we had, plus some more people in, and we were going to buy it. It was a brewery and a place to do a brew pub in downtown Columbus.
Just with the few people we'd initially spoken to, we had more than enough money, like, dedicated
that we could have done this.
But
to buy it, then we would have wanted to get extra people to help.
By the time we heard about it, even though it wasn't officially announced, the deal was pretty much already done. This is one of those things that before the thing went up for sale, the deal had already been done. Yeah. You know that was the case. But that's business, right? That's just how it's done.
That's the way it goes.
But here's the great thing. This is no joke. I'm not even joking. I had a dream about 3 days ago that Underdog,
I believe that is already taken.
Underdog Bones got so big that we actually had to buy a brewery specifically to make enough grains to sell dog treats.
We'll get Jason to make our beer, and you can have all the dog treats you want.
Look, don't tell me I haven't had that conversation already with Jason. He's already heard this from me.
Yes. I think he's got a great gig over there. And to be honest, as much as I'd love to have him,
sweet job.
If I were to have if we were to go in and say, all right, we're doing this and building a brewery, we're doing it, we're going all in.
Yeah.
I still don't know that I would take him, because I would want to go back and get his beer from Hofbrau.
Well, here's the thing. I don't even think we should. If we had the opportunity, we had the funding. I would say we don't even open our own brewery. We buy majority stakes in Columbus, Ohio's franchise of Hofbrauhaus.
I'm just saying, I've already talked that over with you.
I'm just saying that's not a bad idea.
I love the Hofbrauhaus, and there's if an opportunity was to come up to do an investment in that in Central Ohio specifically, Fat Kid, which is me, Cupcake, I'd be all over it.
Look, that is not a bad idea. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
This warrants further conversation, is my point.
Absolutely. I agree. So I think we're about businessed out for tonight.
We are. We never really got to the main topic, but next week we will cover the roadmap. It will be available for download for everybody who wants to actually use this for your own business ideas. 100% free of charge. And here's the funny thing. I promise, within a week's time of me making this roadmap available for download, somebody, somewhere, will be selling a copy of this roadmap for at least $1,000. Guaranteed. This is no joke. People do this all the time. They find great content out there. They copy it for their own uses. They resell it on these online courses for what, $997. It happens all the time. So expect it, but you're going to get it for free because you watch The Underdog Journey.
The Underdog Journey. And one of the things we're going to start doing is we are actually going to start copywriting our product. Not so that we can charge for it, because again, that's if you guys want charged for it, we're going to charge you for it, but you get charged for it and us, which means you've hired us to do something for you. But as the product goes, but what I want to do is I want to copyright this stuff so that people can't do exactly what we all know they do. They take the product, they take the free product, they repackage it, and then they try to sell it on a scam basis. I'm sorry, on a sales basis.
We're going to do a show very soon. We're going to do a show very soon on online gurus. And the amount of copying that takes place is mind-boggling. It's nuts. These people make literally millions upon millions of dollars and live in these rented mansions. Guaranteed 100% of them are rented mansions. But they're doing this on money that they made from copying somebody else's work. So we're going to do a show on this very soon. And we're going to talk about all this stuff that people put out there with good intentions, like you and I, and people copy it and resell it in these online courses. Yeah. And since they change it just enough to where you can't really sue them, but if you look at it objectively, it's identical. Yep. And it's not even these shady-looking, fly-by-night people either. It's actually really big-name people that I guarantee, even, Joe Blow's wife out there who only watches, YouTube channels for fun, knows these names.
This is my last thing. Then we'll do our sign off. But with all of the subscriptions I have Vudu, which if you guys don't know, that's where you buy movies, TV shows, things like that. I love Vudu because I pay for what I want. They have some stuff on there for free, but that's a new thing. I don't watch it very often because it's got commercials. I have Vudu, Hulu, Netflix,
Disney,
Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, ESPN, whatever the big one is. I mean, I've got so many streaming services.
Yeah.
It is insane.
Yep.
But I watch YouTube.
Yeah, exactly.
I watch YouTube.
Yeah.
I love original content.
Uh-huh.
So I'm gonna go real quick over here. I'm just gonna type in YouTube on my screen here, and it'll talk to me. Here's Jack the Blue Healer. Okay, that's great. There's another guy called Veritasium or something like that.
Okay.
That is a science channel. Now, everybody should watch that channel. It is absolutely phenomenal. I got tons of guitar stuff, and then I've got tons of car stuff. And then because my wife watches it with us down here, I've got Disney Food Blog. But everything else is it's all tuned to exactly what I want. Their algorithm is no joke. And I know we laugh about and we kind of poke fun at our algorithm show. but our algorithm is no joke. So, or YouTube's algorithm is no joke. They know what you want to see. Here's one. It's called Stauffer Garage, and I think Stauffer Garage is actually based out of Dublin, Ohio, which is right down the road from you.
Really?
So you live in Dublin? You?
I live in Dublin. You send me their address. I'll head over there.
It's detailing cars, cleaning cars, and I've probably watched 20 hours.
Well, hang on. Isn't there a certain young man with the initials NL who we've been working on trying to start his own car detailing business?
Yep.
Maybe it's time we introduce NL to this YouTube.
Oh, he's seen it. He's seen it, and he's watched it with me, which is one of the things that keeps him going on. So YouTube is literally, this is back to the algorithm stuff. And to be honest, as I know we've poked tons of fun at our algorithm show, but we need to go back into another one because this is what keeps us going. This is the algorithm knows, and then the algorithm continually learns and builds and provides you content on certain platforms. And Netflix say, hey, you might like this, blah, 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 blah. But I got to tell you, Netflix, you need to up your algorithm game because it is nowhere near on the point that YouTube is.
So a lot of people don't realize this. YouTube is actually, I know we're unsure on time, YouTube is actually the world's second biggest search engine. It's not just a video platform. It's a search engine. It's using Google's platform as a base. It has its own algorithms on top of it. It's a search engine. YouTube's main job, guess what? Here's some news for the entire world. YouTube's main job is not to play cat videos for you. YouTube's main job is to keep you on YouTube for as long as possible. Not to keep you entertained, but to show you as many ads as possible.
To give you impressions and to give you as many ads in their videos as possible.
That's it. Their main job is not to be useful. Their main job is to show you as many ads as possible. And only if, by being useful, they can show you more ads, that's what they'll do. That's it. Their only job is to keep you there for as long as possible, which takes us back to certain social media shows we've had in the past, which we need to retouch on those, by the way. When you deal with social media, when you have an Instagram page for your business, when you have a YouTube channel for your business, what you need to do is create content that keeps people on your account for as long as possible, keeps people on your page or your channel for as long as possible, because then the algorithm will look more kindly on your channel and push it out to more people because you're keeping people on their platform for as long as possible so that they can feed them more ads. That's it.
More ads.
That is the main.
So I just stumbled across, and this is a channel called Alamazon, Almazan Kitchen. This guy looks outdoors. He has a wicked knife. It's fantastic heart stopping because of cholesterol food that you can ever possibly want. So it looks delicious, and I will get on nights. So I'm not really on a diet at the moment. I'm kind of happy where I'm at. I wouldn't mind being 130 pounds lighter, but we'll get there. But this right here is a whole roasted chicken, and it's all done outdoors. Literally, you see it. I mean, there's creeks and stuff. It's crazy. But Almazan Kitchen, and I always end up with this channel coming up when I'm trying to eat healthier, and there's nothing healthy about some of this stuff. It may be nice and fresh and absolutely delicious, but it is cholesterol clogging, heart stopping, cardiovascular, suicide deliciousness.
So there is a YouTube channel that I watch, and we'll do another show on this where we actually go in and we start talking about these things. There's a YouTube show that I watch where, and I know I mentioned this because you mentioned a cooking YouTube channel, and I know you're a Disney guy because your wife is a super Disney fan. But this guy was a Disney employee. He'd done like voiceovers. He was in their marketing department. He was actually on the rise in the Disney organization. During 2020, he was had to work from home, the whole 2020 thing. We're not going to go into it. But he started doing a YouTube channel where he did historic. He started a cooking channel on YouTube about historic recipes from like Roman times or Greek times, and he would go in and talk about the history of the food that he was making, how it compared to modern equivalents. And he got so big during 2020 and that whole thing, and his channel was so good, he actually quit working for Disney to work on his YouTube channel full time, and he's actually making more money now on YouTube than he did working for Disney in their marketing department on a cooking channel. And it's actually really good. And here's how good, and it all ties together because the algorithm from YouTube showed his videos to me. Even though I don't watch cooking channels, I don't care. I'm not really a foodie. I eat cheap ramen noodles, I don't know. But YouTube's algorithm knew so much about me, and it was so intuitive about what I would like. It showed me this channel that got me
the growth of a person who built out of this into that.
Keeps me watching it.
The journey, which is what.
Yeah, and that's how good the algorithm is.
We don't care about the journey
it's
at
insane.
all here at the Underdog Journey.
Wow. And anyway, we are 46 minutes over budget here.
Yeah.
So look, next week we are going to have to get into the spreadsheet. And we say spreadsheet, it sounds boring. People who aren't spreadsheet people, I promise you, this will help your business. Come back next week, next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern on Facebook and YouTube. I promise you, we will give you valuable content.
If you download this thing and you're like, oh, I'm lost. If you reach out to us, one or both of us will set up a Teams meeting or a Skype call.
Yeah.
And we will go in and we will work with you on this and get you started on how to use this spreadsheet. So if you get it and you're like, oh, I'm lost, I don't know what to do, David, this is ridiculously complicated, we're going to break it down for you so that it's not. And we will take that time. Here is another thing for next week. I'm going to talk about charitable fundraisers, or more specifically charitable giveaways. I have a drone over here, and I'm thinking about setting up a charitable giveaway where we sell 100 tickets for X amount of dollars, or $250 tickets for X amount of dollars. Could be $10, could be $5, could be $100. I don't know how it's going to be, but we're going to set it up, and we're going to pick a specific charity, and anything over the cost of the drone goes to the charity. So we're going to set up like a regular charity where all the proceeds go to. So I think we're going to touch base on that a little bit next week, because there are some major things that you can do with understanding that.
Yep.
And one of them we'll bring up on the screen next week. We'll do some prep for it. But a place that we have actually broadcast from, the National Corvette Museum, does a giveaway where they sell tickets and they raffle off Corvettes. Now, we're not going to be raffling off a Corvette, but we're going to raffle off a DJI Mavic 2, blah, 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 whatever it is, or Mavic, whatever. Anyway, mini
details. We'll put out details.
Here.
Yeah.
We'll get the details out to you. We're going to talk about it next week. I'll show it on the thing next week, and we're going to find a way. We're going to put together the thing properly, which means we're going to need to roadmap it, and we're going to do a giveaway on the Underdog Journey, a DJI Mavic Mini drone, which
that's awesome.
Those things are great. They're cool. They're really fun to have, and we're going to give one of them away.
You need to shoot some. So you have a couple of these drones. With the drones that you use, you actually need to shoot some really good promo footage. We'll put together a thing. We'll put it out there on all the socials, and that's really cool, David. That's awesome. This is the first I'm hearing about this. That's great. We should totally talk about that.
Absolutely. So let's talk about it. So for all of you guys who know, join us afterwards. For all of you guys who don't, learn to know.
Leave a comment. Hit us up on the DMs, and we'll send you a private invite to what we like to call the mastermind. But for those of you who don't care and only interested in the business of the day, I've been West.
Or what beer we're drinking.
Or what beer we're drinking. I've been West. This guy's been David, and we will see you next time.
Until next time, ladies and gentlemen.